What is up, everybody? Nell here with my UFC 203 prediction video. I'm super excited for this event. I think it's going to be a great card. Now, first up, I'm choosing Joanne Calderwood to beat Jessica Andrade, but I'm a little nervous about this pick. If you know Jessica Andrade, she just recently moved down from the bantamweights, and she's extremely short. I was surprised she was fighting bantamweight, but she was giving those girls fits because she has genuine knockout power. She will be able to KO those 115-pounders. She's a downhill fighter. When she gets the momentum, she's extremely hard to stop. She's a close quarters fighter. She's kind of a tornado. If she gets you on the ground, she's got like Vanderlei Silva type ground and pound. So I'm nervous about this fight. Joanne's going to be much taller than her. She's also going to have the reach advantage. She needs to use those tools. I think she has a much more diversity in her toolbox. I think she has is much more of the skilled fighter. She's the cleaner fighter, and she needs to not give her an inch. Don't try to prove anything. Don't try to Muay Thai. You know, Joanne, we know you got that Muay Thai, but stay away from Jessica. Don't give her that inch. Fighter from the outside. But again, it's a great opening card. They could even still fight of the night. So I'm super excited for this fight, but going with Calderwood. Next up, I'm choosing Uriah Faber to beat Jimmy Rivera, but I don't know. Will Jimmy be the one non-champion to finally beat Uriah Faber? You know, Uriah pretty much only loses to current champions, basically. But I don't know. He seems like he might be... we know he is kind of in the winter of his career, especially being a bantamweight at 36 years old. That is kind of the smaller divisions kind of belong to the younger guys just due to speed, really, and being able to maintain a high offensive output for a very long time. So will Jimmy be the one? Because he only has one loss, and Jimmy looks good, man. He's got great ground game. He's strong. He's fast. He's a smart fighter, makes good decisions. Of course, Uriah has fought a higher level of competition for much longer, so he's seen more. So I'm thinking maybe the old wily veterans tricks will get him through, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, and this will be a great fight as well, but I am going to go with the California Kid yet again. Next up, we have the debut of CM Punk against Mickey Gall. Now, let me just start with CM Punk. We know he's a former WWE wrestler turned pro fighter. I believe he's 36 years old. And look, you know, people are making all kinds of jokes and things, but my hat is off to CM Punk for doing this. Look, he's a millionaire. He wasn't just a WWE wrestler. He was the top guy at one point. He don't have to do this. Why you doing this? Okay, anyway. But you know, he's trained with, I believe, Henry Gracie off and on for a number of years, close to 10 years, but that's not the same thing. Okay, and choreographed violence, because I believe WWE wrestlers actually don't get enough credit. They are athletes, and the average athlete can barely get through the first initial WWE workout. They go for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the highest level of physical activity, so they don't get enough credit. So he is an athlete, but it's a different type of intensity when we're talking about MMA. Not only is every part of your body working, every part of your brain is monitoring every part of your body, your breathing, your cardio, your output, your opponent's movement, your movement, your adjustment, every cell in your body is working for every single second of the fight. It's a different level of intensity, and can CM Punk, someone who's never felt that, maintain that, even though he's been training with the Gracies, even though he's been in Colorado with Duke Rufus, the highest level. Anthony Pettis says he's coming along. We've seen the videos, we've seen the montages in the episodes moving up to this, but I just don't know. It's a different type of physical activity, but my hat's off to him for giving this a shot when he doesn't have to. And if he fails, he's not the first wrestler to try this, but they tried on a much smaller level. If CM Punk fails in an embarrassing way, we're all gonna see it. It's on the biggest stage that you could possibly get your butt whooped on. So my hat is so off to CM Punk for letting us see him try this. Now, Mickey Gall, 24 years old, and look, he's an amateur. He shouldn't be in the UFC himself. He lucked up being on a smaller event that Dana White happened to be on. He was charismatic. He had a great win. He called out CM Punk. Plus, he had the backing. Mickey Gall was working in his hometown before then. He had Dana White said he had one of the largest entourages he's seen in these small events. He had local support, radio support. So he was working the social media and all of that outside of his fighting already. So that's why he got this. He lobbied for this, and my hat is off to Mickey Mickey Gall. This is a heck of an opportunity, and really he has nothing to lose. Look, he's 24 years old, and technically he's an amateur. We should be seeing him in the smaller promotions for like the next year or 2 years before he makes it to the UFC. So if he loses now to a CM Punk, we could say, you know what, he's an amateur, shouldn't have been there. Maybe the lights and the pressure got to him as well. There's all kinds of outs for Mickey Gall, and plus he'll have his name out there. I'm sure he's got endorsements coming in, at least on the local level. So to me, this is a win-win for Mickey, even if he loses, unless it's like embarrassing. I just don't see that happening. And in fact, I'm picking Mickey Gall because he's an actual fighter. He's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He's been training since he was a young teenager, I believe. He's felt that durability. He's felt that intensity. He's been there before, even though not to the level of the UFC. Now, the only way I could see CM Punk beating him is if he's a better mixed martial arts artist than I think he is. And I don't mean to make fun, but maybe he's good enough to beat Mickey Gall. That's all I'm saying, but I'm picking Mickey. Now, next up onto the co-main event, we see Fabricio Werdum taking on Travis Brown. Travis Brown, you know, of course, he has the reach advantage. He has that on all of his opponents. And when he's on, he looks like a #1 contender. He really does. He's got great boxing, great Muay Thai. He has one-hit quitters. All of the heavyweights do. He's got good wrestling, good slick submissions. I just think that Fabricio Werdum has more tools than he does. I think Fabricio Werdum is more proficient at his artistry than Travis is at his. You know, he's a world-class Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's got underrated boxing and underrated wrestling. He's got one-hit quitters because all of the heavyweights do. I think he was overconfident in that fight against Stipe. Not to take anything away from Stipe. Stipe has great movement. We'll be talking about him shortly. But I do think he was overconfident. So he had a mental lapse there, which I wasn't expecting from Fabricio Werdum. And I don't think he'll make that same mistake against Travis Brown. I think this man wants his belt back. So I'm picking Fabricio Werdum. I just think that mentally he's stronger. Mentally he'll make better decisions. I think he has more diversity in his tools, and I think he is more proficient at his main art form than Travis is at his. Travis, you can bait him into a brawl. He gets overzealous. He mentally makes immature mistakes sometimes. So I'm just going to go with Fabricio Werdum, but again, with one-hit quitters on both sides. If Travis keeps this on the outside, and you know, of course he could win, but I'm going for Fabricio. Now, main event, and we're seeing the UFC heavyweight champion, Stipe Miocic, and he's my boy. You know, I love Stipe, one of the nicest guys in the UFCs. He's taking on Alistair Overeem, and Alistair's finally getting this title shot. This is going to be a great matchup here. Let's talk about the challenger first. Of course, he has multiple kickboxing titles. He has great takedown defense. He's got good wrestling as well when he has to use it, but he likes to stand up. That's where he is most efficient and most proficient, where he's most comfortable. Stipe Miocic he's got kickboxing as well. He's got underrated kicks, actually. I think he's going to need to use them in this fight. His boxing is nice, and I think he just had underrated movement. Again, movement won him that belt against Fabricio. Not only did he have great combinations on the feet, but the movement, the shot that he caught him with, he was actually moving backwards when he caught him. That underrated power. Of course, they both have one-hit quitters because this is the heavyweight division. This is going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a good stand-up fight. Now, the man who may switch it up and take it to the ground, physically, I don't know who is stronger in the wrestling. Maybe Stipe. Stipe might be a better wrestler than Alistair Overeem, but I'm not quite sure who's physically stronger, especially if it gets to the dirty boxing. I actually think Alistair might be better up against the cage with the elbows, with the dirty close quarters fight, but I'm not quite sure. Again, Stipe has great movement, so in space, but we know that in space, that Alistair Overeem is a killer in space. This is a good fight. Now, for me, the in for Alistair is to kickbox him. His last couple of victories, he's been laying and praying. He's been waiting like just a lion, stalking his opponent, walking him down, and then pouncing on him with his power and getting the KO. I don't think that's the way you win against Stipe, because Stipe has a high offensive output, especially for a heavyweight. He has great cardio for a heavyweight, and he can go 5 rounds. So while Alistair is waiting and stalking, Stipe might outpoint him. And if he doesn't get that KO, if he doesn't get those big flurries, Stipe may outpoint him to a victory. Also, Stipe has knockout power as well. So if Stipe is just flat out outworking him, the chances that the knockout coming to Stipe is higher. You see what I'm saying? If you work, even if you're not hitting your opponent, even if you're throwing feints out there, if you're working, things come. You will land something. It will come to you. So Again, I don't think Alistair can wait and pounce with Stipe. I think Alistair needs to out kickbox him. Turn this into a kickboxing fight. You're a better kickboxer than he is. Lots of kicks. And if Stipe again has underrated kicks, we may just see the most kicks we've ever seen from a heavyweight fight in this fight. Because if I'm Alistair Overeem, I'm going to kickbox him. You have to have a higher offensive output with someone like Stipe because he's too active for you to wait. You wait, you might lose in points or get KO'd because the knockout came to Stipe before it came to you. So, I'm picking Alistair. I am. I'm going with Alistair Overeem. Yeah. I see the belt hot-potatoing a little bit in the heavyweight division for a while. And I'm going to pick Alistair Overeem, but when both men have one-hit quitters, of course Stipe could win. This could be fight of the night. It should be a great fight. It could go either way, but I am going with Alistair Overeem. Now tell me your injury updates. Let me know your picks. Check for my 15-second prediction videos because I'm almost positive that I will do one for Jessica I and Betch Coher. So please just look out for it. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram where I have those 15-second predictions and recaps. Subscribe. Follow me on Snapchat now. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.